Don't forget, 4 months ago, half of this fan base was convinced that Joe Douglas wasn't going to fire Adam Gase. Why? Because the Johnsons were inept and because of their awesome friendship, that they're blood brothers or something from a former life. Everybody was afraid of that. Let's not forget that. The report was that Joe Douglas and Adam Gase were very close, so half the fan base was afraid that Adam Gase was going to be the coach. Don't forget. Think about it. If you were one of the people writing on Twitter, writing on Jetnation, on Instagram, I just know it. Adam Gase is going to be our coach this year. Remember, don't forget how monumental of a deal it was that Joe Douglas had Adam Gase fired.
All right. Well, hello. Let's see here. I'm going to have to try to figure this out because I'm working on a trick. I don't know if anybody's even in here yet. If you're here, let me know in the chat. This is a late night one, obviously. This is the first of our 2021 late night whatever fest. Hey, Mess, what's up, buddy? So I need you to tell me something. I'm working on an experiment. My computer, I have no internet, but I do have cellular. So I'm trying to see. It looks like I'm pretty stop and go right now, huh? Am I pausy? What's up, NY Jets Tails? What's up, Amarella? So this is an experiment I'm trying. It might not work. I'm trying to use the cellular through the StreamYard studio and not use the StreamYard. Not use the computer for the video, but it might end up being a problem with the video as well because I'm going through the StreamYard studio. So it might be a mess. It looks good to you? Am I moving around? Because over here it's freezing. So if you guys got to tell me when I'm freeze being or not. Very clear, very good. Oh, interesting. See, on my end, it looks like complete shit. Isn't that weird? I can't, because I'm watching, so I'm on my cell phone to use the cellular. So I've invited myself in as a guest. So I'm not turning on. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Am I still here? So this is weird because look, I'll show you guys something. Oh, thanks, Mess. This is good. Thanks, Jeremy. So look, this is what I'm doing right now. I'll do this just for a second. So actually, you see that I'm here twice, but I'm turning this guy off. This guy. Right, that guy. I'm turning him off because he's taking too much bandwidth. So I'm just using the cell phone. So is it working? Can you guys hear me and all that too? Double beam, right? There you go, Jeremy. Right side looks better. Yes. That's the cellular side. So, all right, good. What's up, Runner Dash? Good to see you guys here. So let's cap a few things, man. And if it goes out, just tell me. Like I said, this is an experiment. You guys are gonna help me. I'm trying to figure out tricks around certain internet deficiencies that I have when I travel around the country. As you guys know, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not so great. But one of the things we figured out here is the cellular signal is pretty strong, but the Wi-Fi signal is Duke. So I'm happy if this works. This is a solution. I just found a workaround. I thought about it today. I was driving back from Pittsburgh. I went to Kennywood today. Or yesterday, went to Kennywood and rode the coasters, man. What a great place that was. But on the way back, I thought to myself, hey, what about this trick? I said, I'm going to try it tonight with my boys and see what's going on. So Beastmaster's here. Rockaway Archie's good. Frankie's back. Yeah, man. Jeff Otis Brown. What's up, Jeff Otis Brown? That's awesome. Baked. I am God. Get a Wi-Fi hotspot that works off your phone. That I have that. It doesn't. It's not. It doesn't. It's. You think that's a solution, but I have two Verizon hotspots. So I have my phone as a hotspot. I got 30 gigs with my phone. I got my wife's phone. Same thing. Then I have a Verizon hotspot. My phone is Verizon as well. I have the Verizon MiFi or MiFi. Then I have an AT&T hotspot. I got a Cricket hotspot, and I got a T-Mobile hotspot. Sometimes none work. Believe me. Sometimes none, but cellular seems to be strong. But thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm always up for some tidbits. So let's talk about this. I wanted to see what you guys really felt about so I want to talk about Javelin Guidry. That's what, I was kind of keeping my ears out for it in the last stream with Ryan and Matt, and it didn't come up. So I just left it alone. But we have a couple guys left over from last year that were both undrafted free agents, just like Isaiah Dunn is this year. So one of them is Javelin Guidry, and the other one is Lamar Jackson. Also Bryce Huff, don't forget, he was an undrafted free agent too. So we have three that could potentially make the roster. I wanted to gauge your guys' feelings on Javelin Guidry, who I personally don't like very much, versus Michael Carter II or Eccles, who, even though he played outside in college, is actually he's a potential candidate for slot corner as well. 5'10", I think he's 190, 200, something like that. So he has more of a slot build. So I wanted to see what you guys thought about Javelin Guidry. If you think Michael Carter II, Eccles, if they're going to push him off the roster, if you think we can get into Cager in a little bit, Garrett, sure. But what do you guys think of Javelin Guidry versus Michael Carter II or even Brandon Eccles? And then we have LaMarcus Joyner, who can play nickel, but that's not where we want him. We want him playing safety. And with Ashton Davis going down, he's probably going to play safety, which is probably the best. So who else do you see? Well, New York Jets tails. Who do you see as our slot corners? I mean, who do you see? We don't really have many. We have Michael Carter II, Javelin Guidry, Brandon Eccles is a potential, and that's about it, right? Who else we have as the slot corners? Right, good point, Garrett Ham. Correct. I don't see Lawrence Cager making the team this year, but we'll get into him in a minute. But yes, you're correct. He was also an undrafted free agent. Not a bad class, guys. Not a bad class. Don't forget, we also, like how everybody's really high on Isaiah Dunn. Why are we so high on him? Because the Jets gave him the largest contract that was ever given to an undrafted free agent cornerback. So it makes you think that they're committed to him, right? But it's only $200,000 total, including the bonus. So it's $180,000 for the contract and $20,000 for the bonus. So it's not like, the kind of commitment that you would think if you saw a player get $1 million contract, you're thinking, it's not really a big deal, right? So we also had Shaheem Carter last year, who was our priority free agent. He didn't even make the team. So very similar. So I wanted to see how you guys felt about Javelin Guidry and if you think Michael Carter can beat him and push him off the team. What do you guys think? Read today from Connor Hughes, Guidry looked like he was struggling a bit. Interesting, John. Interesting. I didn't hear that he was hurt, man. But I could have missed it. Yeah, it's interesting, Frankie. Everybody likes to throw out the PFF stuff for Javelin Guidry. But another interesting stat with Javelin Guidry, I mean, a lot of people really like him. I personally don't. The stat that I like a little bit better, that's a little bit more indicative of what I see him as, is he was targeted 15 times last year and when he came in to replace Poole, and they caught 12 receptions on him. So he was targeted 15 times, 12 times he gave up the reception. So, and there could be reasons for that, of course, and all that, but that's what I look at. And I also find Javelin Guidry to be a little bit of a sidestepper. You guys know what that is? Somebody who doesn't necessarily tackle the right way. He likes to jump on top. So you take him for a ride. That's kind of what he does. But anyway, if he makes it, he makes it. I mean, I just want the best guy to play. I'm not like anti-Javelin Guidry. I just don't really like him too much. I need to brush up on defense more. Noob fan from the well. That's all right, Sir Robin. That's what we're here to do, dude. That's what we're talking about. You know, the thing that I like to, when I do videos and stuff, like one of the things I really like to create is an environment where we can ask questions. Like we don't feel stupid for asking questions. And then some of the guys in here are incredibly knowledgeable. Um, and we can help each other learn. Shit, man, I'm still learning. I'm brushing up on all the wide zone stuff. I gotta, I know a lot about football, of course, but there's always stuff we can learn, and there's always new players coming and going and all that kind of stuff. So it's good to be able to ask each other that stuff and help each other out. I appreciate you saying that, man. Staff seems pretty excited about Michael Carter II, but you need two guys who can play inside. That's from John Amarella. Yeah, that's interesting. And with the type of defense that they like to run, which is generally, it's called a 4-3, but it's generally a 4-2-5, which puts more defensive backs than linebackers on the field, right? And guys like Nasruddin, Jamie, and Sherwood, they can be hybrid-esque. So we can, and I think the goal was with Ashton Davis, they could have had like an Ashton Davis, Joyner, May, and two cornerbacks to be able to beef it up a little bit, but still have coverage skills out there. So I think that's Ashton Davis is a big hit to what I think their plans might have been. That's an interesting. Let's see how we say this. Ellerafster. Ellerafster. Elijah Moore going to be the best wide receiver in Jets history. Well, that would be welcome now, wouldn't it? I'd love that. I would love that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So let's see what else we hear. So, oh, this is good. Baked I am God says, as someone that played safety, a safety is supposed to be always the man behind everyone. No one gets past him. So I feel like if we were to have a good safety with decent cornerbacks, we'll be okay. Dude, that is how I always played as well. The safety, especially one high, you want the guy to be able to give support to the cornerbacks where need be, but he's the final guy. No one gets behind the safety, right? That's why I didn't love the Jamal Adams stuff. Like Jamal Adams is a liability back there a lot of the time. He does have coverage skills, but he's a liability in many respects. So he played up at the line and he does a great job up there. But I think just like you're talking about, Baked. Let me see. Baked, I am God, yeah. And I like athletic safeties that have a nose for the ball, right? You want your safeties to come up with what? Picks. That's what I like. I like safeties like Ed Reed, Palomado that can tackle, but they come up with the ball. They have a nose for the ball. They can read the offense. They know what's going to happen more times than not, and they can pluck the ball. I love that. So let's see what Garrett's saying. Garrett says, I'd rather have Jackson and Carter, Eccles and Austin over Guidry. That's just me. Yeah, I'm really excited about Michael Carter II, and I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you I knew a lot about him coming out. He's not a guy that I dug into. I've done a little bit more since we drafted him, of course, but I really like the player. And like John said a little bit earlier, John Amarella said, the staff seemed to be really excited about him, and that excites me. I don't think they're as excited about Guidry, but a lot of fans and a lot of analysts seem to like Javelin Guidry, and I personally don't get it. Like Frankie from Flatbush said, PFF is high on him. They gave him some pretty good grades, but I don't know. I'm hoping Guidry gets beat. I think Guidry's going to be a surprise cut. That's what I think. But a guy like Eccles would have to be able to fill that role because right now we don't have all that many nickelbacks. What's up, Rusty Spooner? I see you, buddy. What's up, Liam? Good to have you here, buddy. Yeah, New York Jets Tale says, I want to see the young guys succeed. It's a clean slate for everyone right now. Let's see Carter become a stud. Cager? Is that what you're saying? Cager? Or Michael Carter? I think we're talking about Carter, so I'm going to go with Carter. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that too. You know what's really cool? One of my favorite things about the staff that we have right now is that they come from the Pete Carroll line, right? And even Shanahan. So Shanahan was a fan of playing the younger guys, and Pete Carroll's also a fan of playing the younger guys, maybe even prematurely. A lot of times Pete Carroll would get accused of playing guys prematurely, but that's how you find gems. That's how Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor are two very, very good examples of guys that Pete Carroll kind of identified and got on the field before a lot of people would have. And I think the Legion of Boom is the derivative of that. And we could be seeing something like that. Maybe not just yet, but I think we have Pinnock, we have Michael Carter II, we have Nasruddin, Jamie and Sherwood, Brandon Eccles, all these guys that if two of them make it, dude, we have the makings of something really good here. And even if they end up, some of these guys end up being depth, like your third cornerback or something like that, your fourth cornerback. Dude, it's a good draft, and that's what you want to see. I'm a big fan of that too, New York Jets Tails. I'd rather see us play the young guys than bring in some old heads right now. It's not our year to look. We can win the Super Bowl, of course, but that's not really where we are. It's like this is the evaluation time. So we have young guys. Let's evaluate them, right, Marlon? I'm excited to get a proper look at some of these guys. Right on, man. That's exactly how I feel. It's exactly how I feel. So Bake says, what if we get a hybrid outside linebacker to cover the slot receiver? Well, that could be problematic. Like you look at, I mean, it's possible, right? But linebackers, even a smaller one, like a tweener that can be a hybrid safety linebacker, slot receivers are known for being able to lose the bigger cornerbacks and safeties, which is why the position of nickelback kind of exists. It's like that smaller cornerback to try to match up with those shifty types of slot receivers, those guys that can get in and out of their breaks really fast. And like even guys like Revis, don't forget, Revis had a nightmares with like Wes Welker and stuff like that. He didn't cover those types of guys all that well. He was better locking down the big 6'3" guy. That was Revis's job. Take care of those guys. When he got matched up with slot receivers, he didn't fare as well. And the good news is we didn't do that to him much, but every now and then it would happen, and you'd see him chasing Wes Welker around or some of these other guys. So that can be a dangerous mix. Could work. Let's see what else. Who else we got here? Get Mo Bob. What's up, buddy? Good to see you here, man. Don't forget the next tackle Deion Sanders makes will be his first. Well, look, when you're as good in coverage as Deion Sanders, that's exactly right. Remember that he was known for not tackling. I don't think Javelin Guidry's got cover skills like Deion. If he did, it's all forgiven. It's all forgiven. You don't have to tackle anybody, buddy. That's a good point. All right, Frankie's dropping some knowledge on us. Let's see what it is here. Here are some interesting coverage stats. Guidry, 80% completions. Bryce Hall, 75%. Byron Jones, Miami, 65.5%. Xavier Howard's 52%. So that's how much the guys playing against them, like coverage against. Is that what that is? Let me know, Frankie. Let's see what we're looking at here. Rusty, what's up, buddy? Let's see what Rusty's saying. We have an evolved defense. I have a good feeling it's going to work, and we'll be setting a new defensive trend with hybrids and rotations in different spots. The smell test seems right. Well, you know what's interesting, Rusty? This is what I see. You know how the NFL is called a copycat league, right? So you see somebody breaks the mold, and then everybody tries to emulate it, and then once it's emulated and it becomes a trend in the NFL, what people do is they try to break the mold again. So a few years back, everybody was kind of going towards the larger a more larger receivers with double tight end sets, a lot of 12 personnel. Sometimes you'd even see 13 personnel, 3 tight ends on the field, which is crazy town. But you started to see in response to that, teams started jumping on prioritizing safeties, and that's what Mike McCagnon tried to do when he was way late to the party, but that's, in my opinion, what he was trying to do when he drafted Jamal Adams at 6 overall and then Marcus May in the second. He was trying to take care of the Patriots' tight end sets. So what ends up happening is then you get the safeties and then they bring in the shifty wide receivers and your safeties can't cover them, right? So what I think's happening right now is that we're starting to go towards the big offensive guys again because you're starting to see a lot more dime packages, right? You're seeing more defensive backs out there trying to cover not only the shiftier wide receivers, Tyreek Hill and the like, but also quarterbacks that can run. You want guys that can stay with them and spy on them and all that, right? So what we're starting to see is it's just starting right now. Is you're starting to see it. The offense is leaning towards being big again, so they can run over and smash those dime packages. So when teams have a lot of, they've built their defense to be, to be more deep defensive backs on the field. When you start bringing in running backs like Derrick Henry or even Najee Harris, and then 12 personnel, you can take care of those guys. You can squash them. You can run right over them. You can do what Derrick Henry did to Josh Norman. You can stiff arm him to the ground because he can't handle you. I think it's starting to go that way a little bit more, and our defense would be perfect for that. If that is in fact the trend, our defense is going to be perfect for it. So look, let me know too if I go out or anything. Like again, I'm doing an experiment. I'm trying to watch all the technology here. But so let me know if it's good, it's good. But what's up, Nicholas Camburis? I see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. So anyway, just keep me posted if it goes out or anything. Just make sure I know because I'm trying to keep tabs if this little trick I figured out works. So anyway, that's what I see happening. So that's why I think guys like Nasruddin and Jamie and Sherwood, just like we said, like Rusty's talking about here. I think that's what we might be seeing, man. Is guys that can thump you like a linebacker, but cover like a safety. Maybe not defensive back coverage, but then when the teams roll up with a big running back and a couple, 12 personnel, 2 tight ends are running at you, you can handle it. And then when they switch back to their 11 personnel with 3 receivers out there, you can handle that too. And I think that's what we might be seeing, which wouldn't it be interesting to see the Jets ahead of the curve for once instead of playing catch-up ball? Wouldn't that be interesting? Oh my God, it'd be so crazy. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to back it up a minute. Frank Paola, GreenBean. Frankie from New Hyde Park was 8 years old when Namath put that finger in the air. So yeah, 8 years old, man. So that's how it got you, huh? That's how they got you, the finger in the air. Frank, I was just at the Hall of Fame last week. The Hall of Fame let me in and gave me access, and I was doing some video shoots in there and everything. And then they toured me around the hall, which was super, super cool. But they have a relatively new show. It's a hologram show, and Joe Namath is the host. So when you go into like an old NFL locker room, and then a hologram of Joe Namath comes out and takes you on a little tour around, some greats of the past, and it's pretty damn awesome, man. It's pretty impressive over there. If you guys haven't been to the Hall of Fame, I highly recommend it. It's the spot. If you love football like I love football, you walk in there and you feel it right away. You're like, yeah, I'm home. That's what they said to me too when I went in there. They said, "Welcome home." Isn't that neat? Welcome home, Jets fan. Well, welcome aboard, Frank. It's nice to see you here. Marlon, what's he saying? A good crop of young DBs. I'm excited to see how it shakes out. Yeah, man, me too. And how are we going to find out if it shakes out? By letting them play. Let them play. Let them play. All right, Garrett. That's why I love JD. He's not making the splashy move and signing some old vet that is just getting a final payday. He's building a young team. I couldn't agree more. As you guys know by now, most likely, I don't want to say a fan, but I'm in support of how Joe Douglas has been doing it since he got here. I even liked the Khalil signing. Now, it didn't work, but when he got here, he took over a team that had no offensive line to speak of. Free agency was done. The draft was done. And what did he do? He went and talked a former Pro Bowler off the couch. And everybody says, oh, that move blew up, and it didn't blow up in his face. What else? He figured something out when there was nothing to do. So I even like that. I like his trades, and I like exactly what Garrett's talking about here. Young team. He's not going to bring in an old vet to take playing time from, away from the guys he's evaluating. I think it's incredible. It's about time that we focused on development. Man, for so long, even back to Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum didn't work. He didn't focus on the back end of the roster. Never, man. He gave away all of his picks to have a good splashy front end. Now he did a good job. We had some really good teams. Those 2000, even 2008, 2008, 2009, 2010, they were some strong ass teams. But when anybody went down, it was over. We had nobody to back them up. And we saw what Peyton Manning did to our third string cornerbacks, Marquise Cole in particular. Coleman and Cole, they had a tough day in that AFC Championship game. But I'd rather see us utilizing our late round picks and developing players rather than giving them all away to move up 10 spots. That's what Tannenbaum did. All right, let's see what you guys got. New York Jets tales. I would rather see Morgan turn into the next Brady, similar comparables, than bring in Nick Fales or someone else sit on them like Nick Folk. Nick Fales, I got you. It took me a second. It's late. It's late out. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I doubt Morgan's going to be the next Brady. It's right. But even if he's just a competent backup for the next 4 years, great. And that's it. You're not going to find out if you take away all his playing time. So I'm in favor of it. And it's scary. Rusty, grow in house and pluck from the league is the way to go. I agree. What's up? Look at this. Keith Samsveer. I would love to see the young guys play. I never want to see the team have to rely on old, washed-up guys like Frank Gore instead of giving a young player a chance. Dude, Keith, you're talking my language. How aggravating was that last year with Frank Gore? How aggravating was it? We have a guy. We had 3 guys on the roster: Ty Johnson, Josh Adams, and LaMichael Pirine, who were getting 0 playing time because a 40-year-old running back was compiling yards. And Adam Gase was just doing it. And then the one game Frank Gore gets hurt becomes our only 100-yard game. Ty Johnson and Josh Adams looks great that day. And then the next week, Frank Gore was healthy and it went right back to the bench. It was madness. Maddening. I hated it. Right. So, okay, Frankie, thank you for the clarification. So that's 80% against, right? So that's what Frankie's saying for before. Yes, the 12 to 15 is the 80%. So it's 80% completion percentage against. It's not good. Not good. It's not good. Just want you guys to know that. What's up, Jets gang? I see you, buddy. Jets indeed, bud. Jimmy Kelly, what do you got here? Play the young guys and hopefully we compete every game and find out our slot cornerback, but finish around 5 and 12, 6, 11, have a top 10 pick next year. Then draft or sign a top cornerback and we'll be ready to rock. Nay, look. I got to say, I'm hoping for some more wins, but your logic is sound. Like if we're here, like just like Jimmy's saying here, if we're competitive in every game, lose by a touchdown, lose by a field goal, like all one-score losses, but we're competitive. Zach Wilson looks good. We're developing guys. Our cornerbacks look like they're developing, all that sort of stuff, fewer injuries. But we just can't seem to put it together to get over the hump and win the games. And we end up with a top 10 pick. Then we use that top 10 pick on the best edge rusher or the best cornerback in the draft or whatever it is. Is there anything really wrong with that? I mean, of course, I want more wins in that. I'd love to play for a playoff berth. I would. I'd love to snatch that last 7th playoff spot or something like that, or at least have a shot to do it in December. I'd like that. But there's logic here. There's logic here because it's not done. The team's not done. If we pull it together and get into the playoffs, it's a Cinderella story. Like it can happen. It can happen. But chances are, right? So thank you, Jimmy. I actually agree with that. Oh, we got a super chat. New York Jets tales. Let me get down to that. Yeah, I'll remind you. I always forget to remind you guys. As you see, I try to do a good job with the chat. That's what this, stream or show really is. I try to just let it be yours. We'll just talk. But if you want to make sure your comment gets in there, super chat's always available. And I want you to know I sincerely appreciate it. It helps me. So, New York Jets Tails, thank you, sir. Thank you for the super chat. I think we are our top 10B this year. Everyone worried about our cornerbacks. That is fake news. Our safety, line, and linebacker, assuming Mosley will play great, taking a huge strain off the cornerbacks. Thoughts? Well, let me say this. A lot has to happen for that to be the case. Like a lot has to happen, right? Just like you said, like CJ Mosley has to stay healthy. You know, he hasn't played in 2 years. Not only does he have to stay healthy, he's got to prove that he can be the player that he was 3 years ago. Okay, like the last time outside of those 3 quarters in 2019, the last time he played football really was 2018. So here we are in 2021. So it has to break, right? He's got to be able to do it. The good news with CJ Mosley is that a lot of his game was the intellectual, right? It's not like he's a physically, dominating guy. He's very strong, very, very athletic, but most of his success was based on his intellectual aspect of the game, knowing where things were going to happen, being in the right spots, getting those picks, covering, all those types of things. So chances are he didn't lose that, right? The physical gifts start to wane and stuff, but the intellectual, he's probably sharp as ever. So that bodes well for us. I also think Jared Davis is going to blow a lot of people's doors off. I loved him coming out of college. I loved his rookie year, and his sophomore year was also very good. And then he fell off a cliff, coinciding with Matt Patricia and his mismanagement of the Detroit Lions. So I think he's a really good candidate to make a comeback. And it's not like, we're not talking about a guy in his 10th year making a comeback. He's in his prime. He's in his prime. He's going into his 5th year in the league. So I'm not too worried about it. I think he's a very good candidate. And if we have a young guy like Nasruddin, our linebackers are going to be great. And I believe our pass rush is going to be legit. It may take a minute, but dude, Quinnen Williams, Sheldon Rankins in the interior with Fadu Kasi and John Franklin Myers backing them up. Then we have Carl Lawson on the one side, probably, I think it's going to be Jabari Zuniga or Bryce Huff on the other side starting, but then there's a rotation with Gabriel and Vinny Curry, those types of guys in the rotation, keeping everybody fresh. I think that you're onto something here, New York Jets Tails. I think that our cornerbacks are going to be, some pressure is going to be taken off of them. And that's what's going to help them be better than maybe they would be if they were left on islands in a 3-4 kind of a thing, or in man coverage. There's going to be a lot of zone, and that's Bryce Hall's game. Bryce Hall's game is zone. He's so cerebral, man. So I think you're onto something. I think a lot has to break our way, but it very possibly can because we have a staff that's focused on development. So I think that's a good recipe. And Salah's known for being inspirational. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Inspirational, development focus, young, athletic, high character guys. It's the 5 reasons why what you're saying right there is very, very possible. So thanks, man. Those are my thoughts on it. No, Vertigo Flow. I didn't see that. I gotta find that clip. Tell me what happened. I want to know right now. And I can't. Let me see if we can find it. Hold on a second. Let me see here. Let me see if we can find it, okay? Bear with me for just a second. CJ Mosley, Vera Tucker. Let me see. CJ Mosley is hungry to be back. Now that's an interview. Nope. Let me go to Twitter. Hold on a second, guys. Bear with me. Let's see if we can find this. Hey, if you guys see where it is on Twitter, tell me and I'll pull it up and we can watch it together. Do you know where it was? Vertigo, do you know where it was? Tell me where it was. I'll look real quick, but I'm not going to spend too much time looking for it. Let me see real quick. Yeah, I don't know. Nope. Let me know where it is, and I'll play it for you guys. Okay. All right. So Scott Wilson, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. GreenBean, Carl Lawson is serving up mouthfuls of turf to every quarterback in the NFL. I love it. Elijah Moore is uncoverable. Left side of O-line breaking lanes open. Amen. See, the thing is with this is like every year we try to find reasons to be excited, right? Even last year, I made a video called The Case for Gase. Now, I want you to know, while I made that video, I couldn't stand the man. And I thought there was very few redeeming qualities that he had. Couldn't stand him. I was as last 2 years really, but last year was the peak of it. I was more doom and gloom as a Jets fan than I had ever been before. Even during Kotad, I wasn't this bad. So I made a video called The Case for Gase, and I tried really hard to spin it and say, look, here's some things we have here with this guy. But it was reaching. You know what I mean? And every year, like you can see, our draft makes no sense. We overpay a couple free agents just to come here, and they don't really care. They're past their prime, you know, and we reach for it. What you're talking about right here, Scott, Carl Lawson he's entering his prime, 5th year in the league. Elijah Moore, dude, all that kid has to do is stay healthy. That's it. And he's going to be electric for us. We have not seen a receiver like this guy since Santana Moss here, period. Left side of the O-line, dude, when's the last time we had the potential of Mekhi Becton and Elijah Vera Tucker? When's the last time? Dude, it has been a long time. It's been a long time. Even when we had our great O-lines of 2010, 2009, 2010, with the Brickashaw, Ferguson, and Moai. I mean, in between them was Matt Slauson, right, if I remember correctly. No, first it was Faneca, and he was great, but he was at the end of his career. He's getting into the Hall of Fame this year, though, by the way. He'll be inducted this weekend. But even that, like with Faneca at the end of his career, that wasn't the dominating Pittsburgh Steeler Alan Faneca. It was a different guy. Even though he was good, he was a different guy. You're talking about Becton in his second year, Elijah Vera Tucker as a rookie, next to Connor McGovern, who before he came here last year was a top 10 center in the league, man. Call it like it is. That's the truth. He came to an Adam Gase team and he fell off the cliff. By the end of the year, he put it together, though. So then on the other side, we have a battle going on between George Fant and Morgan Moses. So we have something, but that left side of the line, dude, Scott, we're on to something here, buddy. This isn't reaching. This is just hoping that potential is met, that injuries don't happen. The realistic potential for greatness is there in all three places. Carl Lawson, with Quinnen Williams next to him, for God's sakes, Elijah Moore, and the left side of our O-line, dude, we're going to thump some people, man. We are. We're going to thump them. Yeah. Man Golden Brick. Well, thank you, Scott, for the super chat. I believe I'm right with you. I believe you. So look at Angie. He said Man Gold Brick. Totally. And even that, I mean, the last time we saw them was 14? Right? 2014, 2006, 4. Yeah, I don't know. I forget. It all runs together. It's on YouTube, GreenBean. Rusty Spooner says, well, send me a link. Send me the link. What am I looking for here? Let's see. Gase baptized us by fire. Yeah, Rusty. That's funny. But know we're the phoenix. Yeah, rising from the ash. See, the thing is, man, we're going to look back at this. If this all works out, that's going to be the bottom that we needed. Like you guys know, right? Like I'm sober, right? I've been sober I just passed July 15th or July 13th. I mean, it was 11 years that I haven't had a drink or anything like that. So one of the things that we say is that in order to get well, a lot of the time you need to hit a bottom, right? You need to get to the bottom. That's the pain that motivates you to do the things you need to do to actually become the Phoenix. And that's what I think Adam Gase was. That's how I relate to it. It's like I look at Adam Gase, Mike McCagnon, that whole thing as a bottom. That's what it was, our bottom, man. And now we can get well. We got rid of the whole stupid hierarchy, the whole reporting structure, all that crap. We got rid of all of it. And our medical staff, like everything's been scrubbed. And we're finally able to build. That's what I see. So I'm with you, bud. I am. Jimmy says, thanks for answering. If we get a top 10 pick with our pick, we have a chance to move up again with the later first and get a top 215. Yeah, totally. You know what I'd like to see, Jimmy? I'd like to see Seattle completely implode. Now, I'm not rooting for injuries. I never root for guys to get injured. I sincerely don't. I'd rather every team was at 100%. You know, that's what I want. I don't want guys to get in trouble. I don't want any of that stuff. But I do root for complete implosions, like, you know, for Seattle just to crumble, like the Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll relationship, you know, Jamal Adams, like all that stuff. I would love for them to implode and give us the top 5 pick. Then what you're talking about, Jimmy, let's say we win 7 games and we're like 13th pick. So then we have like a top 5, 6, and a 13, and we just stick right there, or trade back with the 5 or something like that. I'd love to see us get a high enough draft pick that we can trade back and get a first for next year. So it's 3 years that we have 2 firsts. That's my kind of party. That's the kind of stuff I like, man. I do. Well, yeah, Jimmy, of course I answered. That's the deal, right? We're trying to make this one a little bit different, smaller, right? So it's more of an intimate gathering. We do this on Thursday nights too, Jimmy. I don't know if you've ever been there. We do the Thursday thick of it every week, from 8 to 10ish, and it's predominantly a question and answer show. It's just I'd look at the chat and see what you guys want to talk about. So that's it. So let's see what else we got here. Yeah, thank you, Eminon. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, 11 years is a big deal. No drinking, no cocaine, no crack. Can you believe it? None. It's tough with kids. You don't want to do that shit. But yeah, did you guys know I was at one time I was homeless in Newark? Yeah, I used to sleep in hallways in Newark. Not for too long. It's not like I lived there for years or anything, but yeah, I did it. I used to sleep in an abandoned hallway in the projects in Newark called Baxter Terrace. That's what I did. I don't do that anymore, thankfully, because I hit a bottom. I was pretty bottom-esque, sleeping in the hallway, man. And I wasn't not in the summer either. I was doing that shit in January, like an idiot. You know how cold concrete is in January? You know what I mean? Let's see. Liam, my good friend Liam Riordan, who I had the distinct honor and pleasure to meet him, and John, who's also here with us tonight. John and Liam, we went and rode the Cyclone together in Coney Island with O'Leary and a bunch of other awesome dudes and girls for that matter. We went and had pizza and everything, right, Liam? Liam stayed around and we went on the Thunderbolt together too. So let's see what he says. Hey, GreenBean, what would be one word to describe Javelin Guidry? He knows. He knows. You know. The word here, I'll put it in the comments, okay? I don't want to say it out loud because don't forget, like, it's silent. Like, I'm outside right now. That's why I'm like talking kind of subdued. I'm outside. My neighbor is literally 5 feet from me. I'm in a trailer. I'm not a trailer park, a campground. So my RV's right there. I got RVs and it's silent out there. So I don't want to say bad words. But this is the word. I'm going to put it in the chat, okay? So you guys can all see it. There it is, Liam. Okay? I'll even put it on the screen too, just so you guys can see it. See? There it is. I also want to say it out loud. That's my opinion. Yeah, John, I would love to do it, Andy. I don't know if I'll be back there. Yeah, this next summer I'm going to be out, depending on what happens out west, with both fires and COVID and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. But my plan is to be in California next winter. I'll be like October, November, I'll be in New Mexico, Arizona, and then I'm going to be like Southern California, San Diego, LA, Joshua Tree, all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to go up, and I might even go, I doubt it, but I might make it up to Alaska, depending. See how things go. See if I can get some more Patreon people to help out the cause. But and if any of you guys are Patreon supporters, thank you. It's amazing. You guys are amazing. We're just kicking it off. We're just getting it started. But I do have a Patreon. I'll put it. It's in the description of my videos. You see it. It's a link. If you have any interest in doing that, there's certain benefits to it. I've been making good so far. I think I've been hooking it up. Wait, let's see. Vertigo. Did you send it to me, buddy? Did you send it to me? Let me back it up. See, now, Scott, that's good. See, Seattle's in a tough division. They can implode. Dude, if they imagine Seattle has a losing record this year, like this is the one year that they just have that dip, just like the Niners did a couple years ago, right? Like it happens all the time. Wouldn't that be magical if they dipped and we got like even a top 10 pick out of them? Wouldn't that be magical? So I want to see Vertigo. I'm trying to, if you can find me the link. I don't think you're allowed to put links in the chat. I might not have allowed that. And I don't know how to do it on a fly, like just go in there and change it. Oh, porn star Jimmy. What are you saying? Me? Yeah, how can you hate me? I don't get it either. A lot of people do. But thanks, man. I think that's what you mean. I appreciate that. But let me Brandon Moore was on the right side, Rags. But he was good too. I like Brandon Moore. He was an undrafted free agent. Imagine that. There you go, Jets Mess. Jets Mess reminding everybody, don't forget to like the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, excuse me. If you're not subscribed to the channel, it helps out a great deal. That's the simplest, best thing you can do for me is just hit that sub button. It helps, man. You'd be surprised how much that stuff matters in the YouTube world. I didn't know. But Vertigo or anybody, if you can find me the CJ Mosley clip with Elijah Vera Tucker, just tell me where it is. You can put the link, you can type it in manually, I'm sure. It just won't work as a link, and then I'll copy it and put it in the search. But if you can find that for me, we'll watch it together. I'll share the screen and we can all watch it. Is that right? Carmelo says he thinks he saw Hardy out there covering a receiver like a blanket on a highlight. That would be interesting, huh? Because don't forget, Hardy's making the squad. And he's taking a spot from the cornerbacks, but he's not really here to play cornerback. If he's playing cornerback, it's more than likely an emergency. So, but he's going to take a spot because he's making the team. He's one of Boyer's guys. Boyer's got to get some love too. So we got a couple guys in here for special teams with Hardy leading the way. That would be great if he could actually cover, wouldn't it? Let's see. New York Jets tales. Every player Joe is bringing in a team first, whether they be young or veterans. Everyone on the team is trying to make everyone else better. Dude, that's the difference. It's like, people, there's a lot of people out there that aren't sold on Joe Douglas, right? And I get it. And then there are a lot of Jets fans. Believe me, I see them because I'm in this world. I see guys waiting for Joe Douglas's moves to fail. Like they would rather see him fail than the Jets be good. Like they want so badly these moves to blow up in his face. And I don't get it with that. Like even if you don't love Joe Douglas, I still would hope that if you're a Jets fan that you're rooting for us to win. So therefore the moves would pay off. But let's say you're not sold on Joe Douglas. He's bringing up one of the main reasons why I am. Because we don't see guys being brought in that are me guys. Like we had one. And as good as Jamal Adams was with the fans, and you can't take that from him, man. You can't. He would stay for hours afterwards, signing autographs or giving kids his gloves, or So he was good like that to the fans. And I don't hate Jamal Adams. I'm rooting for him to fail just because that's how I roll. But he was absolutely a me first player. He was not built on team. He wasn't trying to make the guys better or all that. Like he was all about look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Joe Douglas got rid of all those guys. Tremaine Johnson was another one. So was Darryl Roberts. All right, that's what these guys were. Me, 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 me. And he got rid of them. All of them. Every guy he brought in is a team first player. That doesn't mean they don't care about themselves. Of course they do. They want, they want all that, but they're team oriented. A lot of them are team captains. They're all like about the team and leadership and working hard, blue collar lunch pail types. Dude, that's one of the main reasons I like them. I'm very happy with the guys Joe Douglas has brought in. Blunted Vegas says Joe Klecko Hall of Fame. Mark and Marty too. Dude, I know it's incredible that those guys are not in the Hall of Fame. And Mark, Joe Klecko for us gets more press. But Jeremy, you sending me the link? Is that what you're doing? Hold on. Jeremy might have just sent me the link. Hold on. But Mark Gastineau should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely. Without question. One of the best pass rushers the NFL has ever seen. Let me see if Jeremy sent me the link. Let's see if Jeremy sent me the link. He sent me something. All right, this is the mic'd up one. So let's see. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay. Hold on. Bear with me there, friends. I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me get that off. Let me share the screen. Okay, can you guys see it? Okay. Let me get past the ad. All right, so let's watch this and see what's up with it. Let's see. Do you guys hear it? Tell me if you can hear it, because I have headphones in, so you might not be able to. Hold on. Tell me if you can hear it. Can you hear it? Thanks, Jeremy. Can you hear it? No? Okay, hold on. I'll fix it. Hold on. Let me see here.
Camp days, 2 nice weather days.
Can you hear it now?
12 today, so y'all want camera time or stay away? Y'all know now.
Tell me yes or no if you can hear it. And I'll start it over.
I've been waiting to ask this question. It's the perfect time. It's the camera.
And then we'll talk about Strahan.
How the hell do you say your whole name?
Okay, hold on. I'm going to rewind it to the beginning. Here we go.
2 camp days, 2 nice weather days. Can't complain about that. 12 today, so y'all want camera time or stay away? Y'all know now. I'm 12. I'm wired up, dog. I've been waiting to ask this question. It's the perfect time. It's the camera. 1, how the hell do you say your whole name and what does it mean? Tell the people. Ham's Nazardine, Concord, North Carolina. It means warrior, the lion. Let's do it. Feel the beat, bro. Feel the flow today, bro. They got us bumping out here, man. Let's go to work now. BMF 03, 1, 2, 3. BMF. Throw a knuckle. Out. Nah, I'm gonna have pull my chest here. Push.
All right, you know what? Is there a bed? Oh, hold on. Now you're going to hear an echo with me, too. Hold on. See, this is why I had the headphones in. Hold on. I can't do it. I'm sorry. You know why? Because of the trick I'm using with the cellular on the cell phone. Doing it that way. Hold on a second.
I'm getting too much feedback. All right. Sorry, buddies. I got to figure this stuff out as we go. Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it, though. All right. Let me back it up and see what you guys are talking about. There's the Hamsonator. Yeah, that's funny. All right. So we figured it out, but there's still feedback. So because, like I said, I'm trying out this trick. I got to figure out the feedback thing. See if there's a way I can get around that. Yes, he was the man, Emanon. Yes, he was. It's an absolute travesty that Joe Klecko is not in the Hall of Fame. And then right on his heels, it is a travesty that Mark Gastineau is not in the Hall of Fame. Now, like you guys were saying, it's an absolute disgrace the way that Strahan broke the sack record. Now, if he got to the sack record, he would have been tied with Mark Gastineau. That's fine. He earned it. So he got there. 22 sacks is no laughing matter. It's serious. But they got to the end of that game. I think there was only a few minutes left. I remember I watched that live. I was furious when Favre rolled out and basically laid on the ground for him. Dude, that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. There should absolutely be an asterisk. And he went and sacked him, and everybody partied, and it was like balloons. It's like, what is this? Did nobody watch what I just watched? But that's another thing, man. We get routinely disrespected. At some point, what I'm trying to do is get something together. I know there's a Klecko to Canton movement, but it's kind of lost steam over the past 2 years. I'd like to figure something out with you guys and like get some real numbers and talk to the Jets about the Jets having a concerted effort to get their people into the Hall of Fame. It should be Klecko first, Mark Gastineau right on his heels. And I mean it, man. Those guys were dominating. You couldn't stop them. Think about this. In 1 year, we had 2 people with 20 sacks. 2. And that was in the day and age when they barely passed. It was a run heavy league at the time. They passed probably 60, 70% of what they pass now. Guys are getting 10 sacks and they think, we pay them like, it's like they're dominating 10 sacks. What about the other 6 games? What did you do? It's like Jamal Adams had 6.5 sacks in 2019 for us. 5 of them were in 2 games. 5 were in 2 games against the rookie Dwayne Haskins, terrible offensive line, Washington at the time Redskins, and the other ones were against Danny Dimes and the lowly Giants his rookie year. So he beat up on 2 terrible teams with rookie quarterbacks, and he got 1.5 sacks the rest of the year. I don't want to hear it, man. You talk about Mark Gastineau or Joe Klecko, dude, they were dominant. Told you guys, I was at the Hall last week. I talked to 2 separate people about Joe Klecko. Now, they don't have any pull like that, but I talked about him. I brought it up with the people that I was working with. I said, why isn't Klecko in the Hall? The one lady was like, fine. The one lady said to me, yeah, it's terrible that Joe Klecko's not in here. I said, thank you. At least I got that, right? At least I got the confirmation. Yep, Cashman's good. What's that? Hold on, let me see. Okay, hold on. Yeah, 3 different. He's the only player in NFL history to go to the Pro Bowl at 3 different positions. How is he not in the Hall of Fame? How is he not in the Hall of Fame? He got 20.5 sacks. I think that was from the 3-tech. He was a defensive tackle and got 20.5 sacks, dude. It's crazy town. So that 80s geek, thank you, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Joe Klecko is the reason I'm a Jets fan. So you must be my age, because let me tell you something. For me, it was Mark Gastineau, but at the same time, I loved the sack exchange. Mark Gastineau was the guy that stuck out more to me, partially because he was, he was more flashy with the whole sack dance and all that stuff. But yeah, man, me too. I had my Aunt Gina who got me into the Jets. It's a whole long story, but she got me to like them like a little bit, to like look and be interested. But let me tell you, it was when I was watching the games, it was the sack exchange. It was the sack exchange that got me into the Jets. And then right next to them was Freeman McNeil. How you can't watch Freeman McNeil and not fall in love with that guy. And for the guys who never got to see him, it's a shame because he was such a good running back, and he's completely forgotten. Completely forgotten. And he was amazing. So thank you, 80s Geek. I appreciate it, man. And I agree. You and I are probably from the same era. You're 48. Yeah, me too, buddy. I'm 48 years old, my friend. I know I might look older with this friggin' thing I got growing out of my face. But you can see I'm not gray. See? This is blonde hair, buddy. See, look at that. Shiny, blonde, goldy locks. See that? A little bit of gray. Where's my gray? I got a streak of gray coming. But this is gold hair, buddy. It's got thinning though, right? Yeah, a little bit. I still got it though. It's all up here. So 48. Freeman. So we got 3. Yeah, see? Those are the guys that got us in. So Vertigo wants to know, who would I feel most comfortable with at right guard? Well, probably Van Roten. But let me tell you, I'm really rooting for Cam Clark. That was alarming today. I'm happy that it wasn't as serious as it looked, because that's just devastating, and I'm a little bit nervous about this guy. He didn't have the health issue in college, so it's just one of those things. But I really liked him. Don't forget, he played tackle in college, so he is switching positions, and he also played the left side, so switching to the right side is also probably not in his favor. But he's another one of those lunch pail guys. He's got great work ethic, and he's a very talented and nasty offensive lineman. So I'm really rooting for him. It'd be okay with me if Van Roten started this year and kind of, was just our starting guard this year, and then Cam Clark was developed and then kind of came in next year. I'd be fine with that. 4th round pick coming in his 3rd year and being our long-term guard, I'd be fine with that. But that's who I'm rooting for. As much as I like Van Roten, I do. He feels like a stopgap for me. But I think if that's the guy I'm most comfortable with starting right now. Yeah, Anders says the sack exchange was the second era of New York Jets. Right, because you have the whole Namath period, obviously Namath, Maynard, Boozer, Snell, all those guys. And then it went down. We took a little dip. And then when we came back in the 80s, man, that was a damn good team. That was a damn good football team. 86 was a whole bunch of fun. Whole bunch of fun. I still remember I think I was in junior high school. We were 10-1, and the Denver Broncos were 11-0, I think it was. And everybody said we were playing them, and everybody said we were going to lose, and we went in. Oh no, we were 9-1 at the time, and then we beat the hell out of them. And then we were the best team in the league for 1 week or so, and then we lost the rest of our games and ended up 10-6. Ugh. But then we went to the playoffs. You know the rest. And that's when you saw the value of a good backup quarterback, didn't you now, Anders? Didn't you, 80s Geek? You remember. Yeah, Jeff's got it. Jeff Otis Brown, 73 and 99. Both should have been in years ago. They were the shit. Could not agree more. If they were on the Patriots, if they were on the Steelers, could you imagine if Mark Gastineau and Joe Klecko were on the Steelers? They would have been first ballot Hall of Famers. Without question. Blunted Vegas is 50 years old. Nice, man. Yep, and Pat Ryan came in. Well, the thing is, Ken O'Brien was in his slump after that, He hurt his shoulder, but he went into his slump. Remember, Jeremy? And then Pat Ryan had to come in and save the day. In the playoffs against the Chiefs, we beat them, and then we should have beaten the Browns. But our boy, we're sitting here talking him up. But that's one of the reasons, man. Mark Gastineau had one of the most blatant late hits on Bernie Kosar you ever did see. And that ended up pushing the game into overtime. Then it went to double overtime. Terrible. Terrible. Tommy, did you go meet him? Did you go? I met Gastineau a couple times. He signed my jersey. I have a jersey. I don't have it with me. It's in my storage. I didn't bring it, but it's a number 90 for Dennis Bird. I wore a 90 for many, many years. But it has my last name on the back, but it's number 90, and it was the only thing I had to sign when I met Mark Gastineau. And I said, hey, just sign my jersey. So he signed it. So we call it the Dirty Bird because it just won't get clean. It's one of those stained jerseys. But yeah, so it's the Dirty Bird that has Gastineau's signature on it. I love that damn jersey. So yeah, Edward Ziff, they said that Cam Clark is, in quotes, fine. He's going to have a full recovery. It was a spinal contusion, so he had a bruise on his spine. That's all it was. So they'll probably be cautious with it. That's probably what they were doing. They were just, he felt a spinal injury, he felt something in the back, so everybody just took every precaution. You don't move. So, but word is he's going to have a full recovery. Glenn Foley. 1998 was Glenn Foley's year. And he got hurt, and Vinny Testaverde took his job. It's that simple. Glenn Foley from Boston College. Remember Glenn Foley? That's a good point, Gitmo Bob. If they were on the Steelers, they would have won a couple Super Bowls, which would have helped. But yeah, man, and that does help. But numbers are numbers, man. They still should be in. The thing with Gastineau too is, don't forget, Mark Gastineau broke the strike line. Okay, he was one of a few players that crossed the strike line when the players had the strike. Gastineau came in and played because he needed the money. Basically, what he said. But that didn't sit well with the rest of the NFL. All the players, they hated him for it. And then when he came back, he shook that off, played a couple more years, and then he quit in mid-season. He was having a great season too. He quit mid-season because his wife at the time, Brigitte Nielsen, got sick, and he just quit to take care of her. But it was, the word was she wasn't as sick as they made it out to be. Some baloney. I don't remember the specific details, and who knows. But that's why. So Gastineau crossed the strike line, and he quit mid-season on his team. So people don't forget that stuff. I think that's what's going on. And they hated, don't forget, the NFL hated his sack dance. It was because of him that they made the rule about a celebration or something like that. Like, forget exactly what it was, but something like that. So, all right, let me do a couple more and then we'll get out of here. It's been over an hour already. Holy shit. How'd that happen? An hour and 8 minutes. Wow. Incredible. Let's see. This is an interesting one. Masuk Jina. So started boarding school in the U.S. from Bangladesh. Admiral Farragut, Pine Beach, New Jersey, 85. Had no idea what American football was. Jets was love at first sight. Rest is history. Incredible. That's incredible, man. What a great story. Incredible. So thank you. Sorry it's been so terrible for you. You'd like to jump on something and have some fun, but it is what it is. Thanks for sharing that, man. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, Eileen. Yeah. Well, a lot went into that. It's like, right. Once he made the play, she says Gastineau made a boneheaded play, but was not the ultimate reason for the loss. If Pat Ryan finished the game, Jets win. and other reasons, like we were up 10-0 or not 10-0, but we were up by 10 when he made that play. And so, but without that play, the game was over. And that's the thing. You're right. You're definitely right. There were numerous chances to win the game. I think we missed a field goal too. I think we missed a field goal. But anyway, yeah. So it's not his fault ultimately, but the truth is that that game would have ended in the fourth quarter without that play. So painful, isn't it, Eileen? Painful. Oh, that's awesome, Tom. So Tommy got to meet Gastineau this week. He signed a football and he was chatty because not a lot of people were there. That's kind of sad, right? You'd like to see a lot of people show up for him. So Frank Paola says, to all the young Jets fans that have never seen Klecko and Gastineau play, they were unreal, man. Especially Gastineau, a freak, complete freak. Let me see. I want to show you guys videos. I can't. Maybe we can do one without sound, right? Let's see. Let me see here. All right, hold on. We're gonna show you something. I'm just gonna do it. We'll see if. Hold on. Let me shut that one down. Hold on. I'm gonna share the screen. All right, hold on. And we'll look at some. I'm gonna put it on without sound. Okay, that'll help us. I think. Tell me if it's giving you feedback or anything. Then I'll shut it off. We'll do this, and then I'm gonna leave the sound off. So we'll watch this, and then we'll call it a night. Okay. So here, guys, enjoy some Mark Gastineau. It's only 2.5 minutes. Wait, hold on. Hey, Barabbas, do me a favor. Don't bring political anything like that in here. We're just talking football, okay? I'll let this one go, but I'm not gonna have that, all right, man? So just please respect it. Let's just keep the football and leave it alone. All right? Don't bring anything like that in here. I didn't see if anybody else is talking about it, but guys, please leave that polarizing shit somewhere else. Okay? Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's watch this. Let me back it up just a little bit. Look at that. Look at his hair. Beautiful. I want to see like full plays. Look at him. Oh, I loved him. He's a 10-year-old kid. He got us so pumped, man. Let me see if there's another one. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, this is the big fight. This is the big fight. Look at him just tossing dudes. Get out of here. Oh man, he crushed it. He was huge too, man. So fast. Look at that guy. Man, I was a 10-year-old kid. I was in love with him. I couldn't take how excited he got me. So let's look at that. 5-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All-Pro, 2-time sacks leader. He led the league in sacks twice. What's that? What is that? All AFC, 81 to 85. NFL Defensive Player of the Year, AFL AFC Player of the Year, 84. All decade, right? Jets all-time 4-decade team, New York Jets Ring of Honor. Dude, look at that. 5 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pro, led the league in sacks twice, and was Defensive Player of the Year. How the hell is that guy not in the Hall of Fame? Please. Tell me. How is that guy not in the Hall of Fame? You know what I mean? He was a maniac. Right, Rusty? Yeah, beast. Telling you. That's right, Blunted. Blunted Vegas. Back when players hit hard. Yeah. Makes me warm and fuzzy. I agree. That's right. He didn't sack the quarterback. He punished him. That's right. So, all right, guys, I think that's going to just about do it. I enjoyed our extra hang. We'll do this most Tuesday nights. So, like after the big live stream, the Talking Jets panel with Ryan and Matt, we'll pop over here, give it a few minutes for a break, and then I'll come over here and we'll hang for another hour. Sound good? So I want to thank you guys for hanging out. I just love it. I could do this forever, but I do have to go to sleep. It's fucking late. It's late. I'm outside. Don't forget. It's cold too. But anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time. All right, man. Have a great night, everybody. You guys rule. I'll give you one of these to end it. All right, guys. Have a good night.
They were beating us up last week about being not good enough. We didn't deserve. We got this guy Shap saying that we don't deserve the number 1 pick. A team like the Jets doesn't deserve to be rewarded with a guy like Trevor Lawrence. This is the shit we hear. So we win a game. Everybody's supposed to be happy. What does the NFL media do? They laugh at us. You guys couldn't even do that. You can't even lose right. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword, and it cuts both ways for us. So, f*** you. I love Jets fans. You name one other organization that deals with the shit that we deal with and is still this passionate. Sure, you got the little segments, the dog pound. But look at the Patriots fans. They just had 20 years of there are kids, there are 20, 21-year-old, 25-year-old people in this world that are Patriots fans who have never known losing. Never in their entire lifetime. They were born into this Belichick-Brady thing, and they have consistently won. They've won 6 Super Bowls. They've been to 9 or whatever it is. And then when they didn't get in there, they were the AFC Championship game or the semifinals or whatever. And what happens the year that Tom Brady leaves? Dude, you have droves of people leaving the Patriots. These are diehard Pats fans. This is what they have. Diehard Pats fans going to be Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans. Why? Because I'm a fucking fan of Tom Brady. Bullshit. What is that?